But if you see the odds are against you and you decide, I'm going to do it anyway, I'm going to be the one that beats those odds, that's a really tough person to beat.
Welcome to the Strategic Exit Advisor podcast, where we are highlighting entrepreneurs. We are an investment bank for entrepreneurs. And through these podcasts, we want to highlight entrepreneurs in different parts of their journey. So whether they've just started a business, have exited a business, or more likely somewhere in between. So our first guest is an esteemed ex-teammate of mine, one Ryan Lavarnway. I'll share more about his background, but Ryan and I were teammates with the Boston Red Sox. Ryan went on to win a World Series in 2013, be a part of Team Israel in the World Baseball Classic and the Olympics, and then as a post-professional baseball player, has now become a motivational speaker and is building out his business. So Ryan, welcome.
Pete, how are you?
Great to have you here. Always good to see you. Ryan and I were roommates for a number of years and have stayed in touch as we've progressed in our careers post baseball. So, Ryan, would love to ask you first to share a little bit about your career from your collegiate days at Yale to the professional baseball world, and then really what I'd call the big league and then journeyman role for you.
Yeah, I mean, for what's relevant for this podcast and for your audience, Peter, founders, startups, business owners, it's all about being the person that does the thing that everyone else says they want to do, right? You set up to have a big goal, and there's tens of millions of kids that play Little League baseball and millions of people that play high school baseball. And as you know, it's really hard to be the ones that go to the next level, that find the success. Uh, so I played at one of the best high schools in Southern California, ended up going to one of the worst baseball colleges in the country, but happens to be one of the best academic colleges. Um, and then I got drafted, but I had to do something special to get noticed through that college experience, whereas I had to lead the country in batting average, slugging percentage, had to break a bunch of school records. And then in the minor leagues, people don't realize for baseball, even if you get drafted, there's only a 16% chance you play one day in the big leagues. And half of those players don't play a year. So it's really hard to make a career out of it. The odds are stacked against you. But that was never really discouraging for me. It was like, well, I'm going to be the one that does it. I'm going to be the one that does the thing. That was always my mindset. And that's why I really relate to people in your audience as business founders, startups, presidents of companies. They're the ones that will do the thing that sets them apart from the people that just talk about it.
Yeah. Brian, when I heard you talk about your high school to college, I'm curious, were there more professional baseball players on your high school team than your college team?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think my high school team of players that played um, at one time on the same high school team, there was six while I was there. And my college has only produced three big leaguers ever.
Wow. It's not bad company. The current GM of the Red Sox, Craig Breslow, yourself, and I'm sure the third one is the president of something, right?
Ron Darling, who is the
Oh,
one of the
yeah.
play-by-play guys with the
Yeah.
Mets.
Great. So in that journey, you obviously excelled at every level. What's some of the skills, or maybe what's one of the biggest skill you've taken now to this world of entrepreneurship, starting your own business? What's carried you?
Yeah, I'd say it's a couple things that jump to mind. Number one, being able to separate the different aspects of the game and the different
Hmm.
aspects of your life or your business. So in baseball, you can't take your hitting to your defense. You can't take your defense to your base running and so forth. Um, Now that I've started my own business and being an entrepreneur, I can't let my personal life leak into business, right? I can't let, as a motivational speaker and a workshop facilitator, leadership coach, I can't let uh, what's happening with my 3-year-old daughter being maybe in a great mood, maybe not in a great mood. I can't bring that on stage with me, right? Or if I'm working on sales and marketing and creating some educational content, doesn't make sense to let that leak into the other things that I'm doing. So you have to separate, first of all, and understand where your priorities are. But also understanding that your success and failure really is dependent on you. As an athlete, you have coaches, you have trainers, you have consultants, you have people that are all trying to help you be your best, but ultimately no one can hit the ball for you. No one
Yeah.
can field the ball when it's hit to you for you. It's even though it's a team sport, it really is you versus the game, you versus the opponent. You have to perform in the moment. And it's the same as a
Yeah.
business owner, startup, founder, whatever it is. You can build your team around you, but sometimes there's going to need to be decisions that need to be made. You're going to have to invest in the company more than you're comfortable with at the time, or decide on a sales and marketing strategy. There's going to be decisions that where the buck stops with you, and you have to be able to and willing to take that responsibility and the onus that comes with it.
Yeah, that's great. And I want to touch back to where you said about the blank paper. So you developed a unique expertise over 30 years, right? You are the best in the world, or the best less than percent of people in the world at what you do. Most
Yeah.
people in our shoes stay in the game of baseball. They never go outside of it. Even though there's opportunity, they help pay for your college when you go back. What gave you the courage to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go out on my own. I'm on my own away from the sport. Like, what gave you that courage?
Oh man, I think it was just what I wanted to do, right? Like, do I want to see myself still as doing this one thing that I've always done forever,
Hmm.
or do I think I have more to give? And I think for me, it was the self definition and really redefining what I saw as success. As a kid, I always thought I'd play baseball, but I never saw myself playing baseball forever. I think you
Hmm.
understand that there's always a time that change is going to come, and as an athlete, it comes a lot sooner. You go through a lot really, really young, and by the time you're
Yeah.
40, you get to start over, or you have to start over, whether you want to or not. And I always saw what success looked like as a man. Maybe it's my own baggage, but I wanted to do something else, and I had more to give to the world. And I don't know. I see what you guys do on a daily basis. I'm sure that founders and people that are selling their business have a lot of similar emotions and that similar roller
Yes.
coaster of, I've built this thing. I was amazing at it. I was so successful at it. And now it's time to do something else.
Yeah, it's time to move on. And it is funny, I would say our contemporaries are the Anthony Rizzos of the world who are retiring. And we're in our mid to late 30s now, and our athlete guys we came up with are retiring. And for us, it's we're making this transition. But for you, I want to talk about your playing career has ended. You're now people asked you to speak. You've written a book and producing materials. When did you become a guy giving speeches to a business?
Yeah. That's something I still wrap my head around. I hired my first employee a couple months ago, an assistant to take some tasks off my plate, honestly, so I could focus on higher value tasks. And what started out as a passion, it started out as a side hustle. I quickly started realizing, well, if I'm gonna be really good at this and make an impact and make any sort of living from it, I need to treat it seriously. Because the thing I did before, playing baseball, being an athlete, I gave everything I had to that.
Hmm.
All my time, all my focus, all my commitment, all my chips were in one thing, and that's what made me successful. So to be successful at this, I'm going to have to give it the same sort of respect and attention. And I had mentors, coaches in this regard also, and all of them were giving me similar advice of hire help sooner than you think you're ready for.
Yep.
Um, Focus on where can you make the biggest impact and spend more of your time doing that. And I'm consuming a ton of books. I think I've read 8 to 10 books on business already this year. 10x is easier than 2x was one that is really influential, of like understanding where your unique zone of genius is and
Hmm.
what's going to move the needle, and do more of that thing and less of the other things.
Yeah, no, that's great. The entrepreneurs who we work with there's a need that they've met, but then there comes a point where they need to start building infrastructure because
Yeah.
there's a need that the market has actualized and say, yeah, this is real. But now you're a business. You need to invest in it. You need to grow it. You need to make sure you're looking at it the same way a business owner would, which is really exciting
Yeah.
on your entrepreneurial journey. Hey, who are some of the entrepreneurs who've been the biggest, as you look ahead, the biggest role models or biggest advice maybe post baseball that you go back to?
Well, I'm looking for new role models in this new field that I'm in, right? Like
Hmm.
I believe you need peers or teammates and you need coaches or mentors. So for me
Yep.
at this point, it's speakers that are having the kind of success I'd like to aspire to. How are they doing it? What lessons did they learn where I can maybe shortcut my learning curve? And what are they doing that I don't even know is possible yet? For instance, like I'll get a hold on my calendar. Hey, are you available to speak to X organization in X city on X date, whatever? At first, I was saying, yes, I am. What else do you need? Right?
Yep.
Simple as that. It's straightforward question, straightforward answer. And now I hear people are responding with a video response. So the potential buyers can see your energy, see your face, hear your voice. Uh, and then a level on top of that is people are going to a franchise of that company and buying a product or experiencing the service and filming the video intro there. So now they're incorporating the potential buyer in their sales process and the customization and what people are doing on stage. So I'm looking for mentors and coaches in the field I'm trying to be successful in. What are they doing? How are they doing it? And how can I make that a part of my business too?
Yeah. Do you feel like the work ethic that you developed as a professional athlete, doing Ironmans, the I'm just not going to quit attitude, I'm going to keep chopping wood, as I know you have said over the years, do you feel like it is easier to apply it, given that you're now in an industry where you probably control your outcome a little bit more than you did playing baseball? Has that carried you through?
Yeah, I mean anyone that is trying to be the 2% of people that actually does the thing, right? Anybody that's trying to stand out and be different has to understand that mindset is a huge part of it. You
Hmm.
have to understand that if you do the same thing everyone else is doing, you're going to get the same results everyone else is getting. So it's the work ethic, it's the willingness to go above and beyond, and just do whatever it takes. That's one of my favorite mindset and performance books. Is it takes what it takes. What does it
Yeah.
take? It takes what it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's great. I've heard the same thing about being efficient, and I came from a world where everyone was working 100 hours a week, and if that's what it takes, great, but do what it takes and be
Yeah,
efficient with your time. And if it's 100 hours, great. If it's not, then it's not, and there's other things you can do. Um,
yeah.
so to put you on the spot a little bit, Ryan, if you could give us your conclude when you speak to your audiences about mindset, about motivation, do you have a 2 minute or 30-second finish? I mean, how do you think about that for the people listening in to say, wow, that's a really interesting close. I would love to, have Ryan come out to speak. Do you end everything the same, or would love to hear how you typically conclude your speeches?
Yeah, I mean the typical arc is, at one point you're going to have self-doubt and you're going to wonder whether you can be the one that does whatever it is you want to do. You have to give yourself permission because if you don't give yourself permission first, you never have a chance. Then you have to make sure you're taking big enough swings
Mm.
because if you're not setting the bar high enough, if you're not going for the big scary thing, then you're going to achieve what you wanted to and still fall short in your own head. And information, attitude, motivation that's not applied is no good for anyone. So it's about giving yourself permission, being willing to take the big swing, and going out and actually doing it. So I say, why not you? Why not more? And why not now?
Yeah, it's great. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. I'm, as at SCA, very entrepreneurial business. We get to work with people like you all the time, and hearing their stories and their motivation, it's always impactful to what I do. So, any parting words to either this group or to young entrepreneurs about, hey, these are some of the things that would be successful or would make a successful entrepreneur. Anything come to mind for the good of the order here?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that I've learned in starting to wrap my mind around being an entrepreneur, honestly, because my parents didn't have a business owner, entrepreneur bone in their body, and I wasn't born with one. So I've been developing it. Um, give it everything you got, because feeling like there's a backup plan, or feeling like, well, I'll do that later, or maybe I don't need to try so hard, you're gonna fall short and you're gonna wonder why. Um, I've also heard that it's not only young entrepreneurs, right? A 45-year-old tech founder is 45 years old is the average age for a tech founder to be successful right now. And a 50-year-old founder of, I forget what the exact stat was, but a 50-year-old that comes out of a startup is twice as likely to have a monster exit than a 30-year-old, and still much more likely than 20-year-old. So it's never too late. First of all, keep
Yeah.
going, and the odds are against you, and that's fine because that'll discourage a lot of other people. But if you see the odds are against you and you decide, I'm going to do it anyway, I'm going to be the one that beats those odds, that's a really tough person to beat.
Yeah, that's great. I remember we had a mutual coach back in the day that said, when you look yourself in the mirror, you need to know that you gave it all and you didn't leave anything on the table, because
You're talking
he
about
would say,
Kip?
this was a Howie. He was a field
Okay.
coordinator who played in the big leagues and said, I spent half of my big league career on the DL, and I hate myself every day for not working harder in the training room and not busting my butt on the field every day. Don't regret what you do. And you and I, at different points of our career, I'm able to now look at myself in the mirror and say, I didn't let anything go. I did everything I should have done. And now with this endeavor, same idea. I don't want to look back and say I could have worked harder. And I remember something you
Mm,
used to say when we were in high A, it was, I don't want to feel like the guy on the mound is more prepared than me. I'm going to
mm.
outwork him. I'm going to prepare harder than he did so that when we meet, I'm going to win. So
Yeah, I was talking about my on deck swing. People used to give me grief. They're like, "You swing and grunt in the on deck circle, and there's no ball. You're swinging as hard as you can." I'm like, well, when I get in there, I want to feel ready.
that's a Ryan Lavarnway comment. So that is all we have for Ryan Lavarnway. Really exciting to have you on the SCA podcast where we're highlighting these entrepreneurs. Ryan, best of luck with the business as you continue to grow it and scale it. And really happy for everyone being able to listen in and be able to hopefully be encouraged by what Ryan's sharing.
Absolutely. Thanks, Peter.
Great.